Before you say watching this video is a waste of time, and before you waste your time here, this video will explain the functions of some controls most players don't know and don't use, and as well as some tips for controls in Terraria 1.4.5 mobile. You can either leave now or watch, knowing what the video is about. Firstly, we know that there is simple and advanced recommendation from the game. The simple control is highly not recommended by me for any beginners. It is just pure trash. You cannot aim your grappling hook and weapon properly. The advanced control is the best, in my opinion, for starters. It has everything you need to just beat the game. To those who are still watching, I'll explain the functions of things that most players don't know, also the controls that were added in the new update. Watch until the end to understand them. Here's the stick. You can resize it, but it can't be multi-touch. I'll explain multi-touch at the button part. You can either use it for movement, for aim, and for grappling aim. Here's the button. The button can be multi-touch. Multi-touch allows you to use 2 or more buttons at the same time. Here's an example. I enabled multi-touch for jump and use item button. As I have said, multi-touch allows 2 or more buttons to be used at the same time. Turning off one will cease it to work. Here's radial, a new control from the new update that works like a storage for buttons. Now I'll be explaining the functions of some controls most players don't use or do not know how it works. The interact, smart interact, auto select, swap use interact, aim mode, smart cursor, and cycle profile. Interact allows you to interact with things just by getting close to it. It's good if you don't want to manually tap something. Here's an example. Try to explore what things you can interact. Smart interact is basically the combination of use item and interact. It becomes use item when you can't reach any items that can be interacted, and becomes interact otherwise. The auto select selects items depending on where the cursor is placed. For anything that can be destroyed by pickaxe, the item will be pickaxe. Or an axe if it can be destroyed by an axe. The item like pickaxe or axe does not need to be in the hotbar. As long as it is in the inventory, it will be use. The swap use interact just switches the function of interact and use item. The smart interact becomes either use item only or interact only. The aim mode switches your aim into either aim only or aim and use. Aim only is useful when holding bombs, lest you destroy buildings accidentally. Smart cursor is very important, especially for building and mining. Turning it off allows you to destroy specific tiles. Turning it on is not as detailed but faster. Especially for hammer, turning it on destroys walls near you instead of the blocks you click. Turning if off allows you to hammer blocks, even when you are surrounded by walls. Lastly, the cycle profile. You can switch to different controls with this button. It is useful if you have set many controls for different situations, like boss fight controls, building controls, and exploring controls. If you are still watching, this is the controls I use most of the time. By the way, how many fingers do you use most of the time?